So you cannot say, right? You cannot come and say that the issue is entertainment when you, as a parent, decide if your kid has a phone, what they watch, what they eat. You have distinction over that. How do I know? I have kids, and three of my kids do not even have access, other than when I let them, to the internet. Okay. They have, my son is, I have what? I have 15. She has a phone. I have 13, I have 10, and I have 6. And the younger three, do not have a phone. They don't have access to internet. And with my daughter right now, because she's been so trustworthy, I just check her stuff from time to time because she has not given me a reason to take it from her like she has done before. And she knows that that can happen again. So she only goes to things that have been
Humble
said that
Dad, I have a question.
yeah.
When Miley Cyrus, Azalea Banks, people who displayed and talked about things we did, rock star artists,
Yeah.
when they started to take over the white community, what did the white community do? Because the white
They
community
shamed them.
understands
I think they shamed
the impact, the psychological impact that
yeah.
your influencers have over your community. They don't play that shit.
And notice
They
what you
don't play
said.
that shit.
Notice what you said, right? Those people that was in the community were parents. Notice that you just said on your own
But do
premise.
you understand this
Yeah.
dates back? Do you understand? I understand what you're saying,
Well,
but do
can
you
you address him
understand
first before
that?
you try to
I'm,
move it?
I'm talking to him, Darwin. Let me finish.
Well, we're
Do you
listening too, so we can
understand?
input.
Do you understand that? Look at the people back in the day that our parents, like my grandma and them, would not have supported the artists that supported today. So they ended up starting making younger parents, right? Parents who don't know better. This starts all, like you said, it starts back to the parents. But just to go back to what y'all said, which I strongly believe in, it's the fathers in the household. Y'all said half these issues wouldn't be happening if it was if we had fathers in the household. I feel like a lot of what made parents being easier to influence and harder for them to understand the importance that they need in their children's life. A lot of people in our community start being kids having kids. You know what I'm saying? So now
Yes.
these, you know what I'm saying? By the time they get older, by the time they're 34 and their kid's 17, they trying to tell their kid, hey, listen, I taught you wrong when I had you when I was 17. But now this 17-year-old already think he grown, and now the cycles continue. But those first parents back in the day in the 90s, they were influenced by rap artists. They were influenced by Biggie, Pac, so forth,
Okay.
so forth.
I see what you're saying. So let
And the
me
white
interject.
people understood how much of an impact that
Right.
that
You
could have
still
on
come
their
back to the
community, and they shut
right
it
time.
down.
Got you.
They
And so
shut it down.
Nah.
so Di, you said you still come back to the premise that it was the people that are in the community, the people that you're referring to are parents. Those are, and in other communities they have their of course fathers or the mainstays, if you will, and they're able to operate their situation differently, right? And to get more control over what's going on. But if I say anything, that's going to deter us to go to do a different rabbit hole. But we'll just say that fathers are absent, and there is a reason for why they are absent. Okay, but I wanted to speak to your point. I don't know if you've moved and come back to the point that it's not about entertainers. I'll give you a quick story. I was talking to my daughter. She's 15, and she's lost her mother, and I'm talking to her about how her grief is, and she's saying that her grief is well, and I say I'm concerned about you because I don't want you to get away from because she'll be in college in about 2.5 years, and I'm talking to her and trying to spend as much time as I can with her and talking to her about promiscuity as well as maintaining her virginity, right? And she is exposed in the sense of, because she goes to school, so therefore she's exposed to social media and what other people say. So when people ask her questions like, did you know Beyonce? Did you know Taylor Swift? Did you know XYZ? And she's like, I don't know who these people are. Why is that? Why is it that she don't know who those people are? Because
she's privileged with a great dad. She's very privileged with most of us in the community aren't, but she's privileged with a great dad.
Listen, but her mom was alive, and her mom dedicated her time to make sure that they were in a situation that they were not in that particular position, is what I'm saying. It's parents, whether it's me as a father or if it were a single mother, because I was raised by a single mother and I did not have access to, I didn't listen to rap growing up. I listened to a lot of gospel music and a lot of love songs because that's not what was allowed for me to listen to. So once again, what I'm communicating to you is that parents are not being parents. And so, in matter of fact, your kids shouldn't even have a phone unless it's dire need to have a phone until they may be like 14, 15 years old. And you supposed to be in charge of that. Nobody else is what I'm saying.
Well, Jay, I did want to respond to Die before you did that because
I wanted to get a definition on holding me accountable. When clearly I disagree and you was wrong, in my opinion. So can you explain to me how I was held accountable?
You're talking about me, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I was saying that even though we may have disagreed, I said something to you, is what I said.
Okay.
All right. So the only thing I wanted to say is that you got to understand that sometimes we do talk a lot of shit on these panels, but oftentimes when it's something severe and serious like this, we are trying to have a solution. So every time you come up with a problem, the only reason why we're interrupting and saving your voice is because we already figured it out. And a lot of us has found solutions to them. And we're just trying to tell you that you don't have to kind of keep hammering down on the issue that's already been resolved, or we already know the way out. And you say you're around kids 24/7, but you wouldn't allow me to interrupt you to ask about a father. And I think you did that intentionally because then you would have to admit that it was based off the contingency of them not having a father in the home. That's why they were their ears were biased to being inspired by entertainers versus their father and their mother collectively. And I think anybody who's listening to you should be able to understand why you shouldn't. It should give men a sense of urgency to activate themselves if they have found a solution, or if they are leaders, to activate themselves, because you just exposed that you're around all these kids and you're inspiring them, and look how you are inspiring them. You're telling men to go be rappers and entertainers instead of what we are doing. So
that's not what I said. I said stop supporting those people. That's what I said.
You also mentioned that we should become entertainers.
That's not what I said. Maybe that's what you implied, but I said the entertainers right now are the influencers. As much as I don't agree with it, that is who the influencers are. Do you think most kids in our community are saying, let's be like Obama, or let's be like,
so I could continue?
Future. Like, let's be realistic.
Okay. But the reason why I know you said it is because I would have never made a comparison between Kevin Samuels and Jay-Z, and you actually answered the question based off what you were saying. So Kevin this right Samuels here, so I would image consultant. Hold on real quick. But what I would advise you to do if you're going to be around kids 24/7 is to maybe step away from that. If you're going to not give them sound advice, sort of like what Humble Dad was doing, because we're constantly throwing solutions at you, and you keep talking about all these entertainers and stuff. I think right now you may be indirectly poisoning the kids that you're around based off of what you think you call leadership. And I would advise you to halt until you can recalibrate your own mindset and reapproach it.